Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dale Sams, and I'm a veteran storm chaser and NOAA storm chaser here to give you the latest breakdown here of today's severe weather setup that has increased across portions of South Dakota, where damaging winds, even hurricane-like force damaging winds, is likely. All right, so here at the current observations here, temperature observations here across the South Dakota region, here where the heat is there. Definitely, it's definitely a hot day out there right now, and there's basically two dry lines here and then a warm front, and I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, but here's for an example. Okay, out across portions of northwest South Dakota here. Let's take a look at an observation here. The air temperature, surface temperature, is 107 degrees with a dew point of 48. Okay, so very hot but very dry air. Okay, with a dew point of 48. But if we take a look here across, let's say, northern South Dakota, here you see we have a temperature of 102 degrees and a dew point of 67. So richer moisture across northern and central South Dakota. So northern and central South Dakota is in between two dry lines. Because then you look over across eastern here, portions of eastern South Dakota where it is 91 degrees here and with a dew point of 75. So definitely some boundaries in place here, and where in some areas it's increasing the severe weather threat, in other areas it's decreasing. So here's the current satellite here with the surface map, and like I said, you see how southern South Dakota here is basically in between two dry lines and a stationary front to the north and a warm front way off to the east. But what's coming off the northern Rocky Mountains here of storms developing, here supercells developing, multi-clusters, that is of storms that's going to continue to develop, and it's going to increase the damaging wind risk as we go through late afternoon and into the evening. Okay, now currently on radar here, you see this is the current storm development that we have here across southern South Dakota. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch that was just recently issued here until 11 o'clock Central Time here for most of South Dakota. We even have a few severe thunderstorm warnings here in South Dakota. We will have one in central South Dakota for 70-mile-per-hour winds and less than an inch of hail, and this is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning tag because of the 70-mile-per-hour winds that was radar indicated here. So, and then we have a few special weather statements here behind it with the storms that are developing there. But the idea here is that these storms are going to develop, and like I said, the main hazard is going to be damaging winds. 70, 80, even up to 100 miles per hour is not out of the question here this evening, okay? As these storms develop and continue to push into eastern South Dakota, okay? Now, this is the current updated NOAA Storm Prediction Center outlook as of 3 p.m. today. Severe weather is also possible here across central and eastern Montana. Again, hail and wind is going to be possible there up near Billings, Montana, and central and eastern Montana, so we don't want to forget about the folks up there. But the main area to focus this evening is going to be across South Dakota into southwest Minnesota and extreme northwest here Iowa, okay, where we have a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk here for damaging straight line winds. And you see how this, you have this black outline on the outside here, and then you have a more of a denser black outline here surrounding the red area here, 30%. This is a SIG 2, intensity level of SIG 2 for damaging winds, which means that here, this is where the best area likely is to see 80 plus miles per hour damaging winds. Okay, so if you live in Pierre, Winter, Saukett Falls, just south of Watertown here, even zooming in here, even the city of Mitchell, South Dakota here, this is where you are under a pretty high-end threat of seeing damaging straight line winds 80 plus miles per hour. Okay, There is some possibility of some large hail, but the main area for large hail is going to be along and ahead of the warm front that is to the east here, where supercells could produce 1.5 inches in diameter hail or larger. Tornado threat, there is some tornado threat, very low end, 2% risk here across the enhanced risk area. Here, this would be, again, storms that remain discrete and early in the storm evolution before growing upscale into more of a clustered line. So that is on the table too. Taking a look here at the latest HER model. Here, solution for 7 p.m. this evening. Here you see between now and 7, basically storms are going to form across South Dakota, here into portions of Nebraska, and then as we press through the evening here, and at more like 10 p.m., this cluster of storms moves off to the east near Socket Falls and Socket City here, and again, 80 to 100 miles per hour not out of the question, and it is on the table. Okay, that's what we're looking at for the rest of the day today and tonight. I know the NOAA Storm Prediction Center did consider a moderate risk, wind-driven moderate risk, in their 3 p.m. update. Here, they did not pull the trigger on the moderate risk, and I think the big reason why is because when looking at future, model guidance here for this evening, this looks to be like one main cluster here. And again, right now it's 70 mile per hour winds that is radar indicating. So there might be an isolated 100. I don't expect widespread 100 mile per hour winds. There probably will be an isolated report of that. But overall, here, damaging winds is going to be the main hazard this evening here and tonight across South Dakota, into portions of Nebraska, and even into northwest Iowa. So have your severe weather safety plan in place. Have a reliable source to receive warnings. Have your NOAA weather radio if you go to bed tonight, in case a warning gets issued for your area. And stay weather aware and stay safe. Have a great day, everybody.